is the Freewell Mega Kit filters for DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and it's awesome. The kit costs $149 and includes a magnetic carrying case as well as 14 different filters, including ND8 to ND1000, ND8PL to ND64PL, CPL, water mist, and LPR filters. Each filter is made of metal, weighs about 1.5 grams, has an oil-proof, scratch-resistant glass coating, and magnets for simple mounting to the camera. In addition, all the filters except the CPL and NDPL filters have side cutouts for an easy grip. This can be very helpful when mounting, unmounting the filters. Let's mount this filter now. Really easy. However, unmounting the filter can be a bit hard if you don't have long nails like myself. It's still doable because of the added grip from the side cutouts, but it's not really comfortable. On the other hand, if you use the CPL or NDPL filters, it's much easier because of this red ring. It adds much more grip than the side cutouts on the normal ND filters. Here is me trying to remove and put back the normal ND filters. Taking it out, putting it in. Let's do it a couple of times. Still doable, but a bit finicky, if you will. Now let's put it back and use the NDPL filter here. Putting it on, taking it out, putting it on, taking it out. It's much quicker and easier because of the grip from this red ring here. However, I am not blaming Freewell for this because DJI is using the same design on their filters for this camera. It's just something I want to point out before you buy any filters for the Pocket 3. Anyhow, here are a few other things I want to mention about these Freewell filters. First of all, because these filters are magnetic, you can stack them. For example, if you want to use an ND and a mist filter simultaneously, you can do it. I tried putting both of them on my Pocket 3 and didn't have any issues with the gimbal motors or anything like that. Next, if you leave the filter on the camera and turn it off, the camera will not fold properly for obvious reasons. Finally, if you want to quickly switch between your two favorite filters, you can magnetically store one of them inside the Pocket 3 carrying case, and you can fit the Pocket 3 with the filter on into the carrying case without damaging the filter. However, I am not sure if it's damaging the gimbal itself, so don't take my word for it and then ruin your camera. But regardless, here is how I store my Pocket 3 with the filter on inside the carrying case. First of all, I turn off the camera, obviously, and then I wait, still wait, until I see a camera movement, slight movement, just like so. And now I can freely move the camera without any resistance. Now I put it 90 degrees to the screen, and then I just slide it inside the case. There is enough clearance between the filter and the case, so I know for a fact the case is not going to damage the filter or the camera, but I'm not really sure if it's damaging the camera. That's why I actually wait in this part when I turn off the camera, because if I'm not going to wait, the camera has a slight resistance, which I don't really like. That's why I wait for this movement here. And now it's moving freely basically, which means that the gimbal is not going to get damaged, in my opinion at least. Moving on to performance, I tested these filters in the same location with the same camera settings and I got great results. The ND8 to ND256 filters have no visible vignetting, a barely visible loss of sharpness, and a minor color shift towards red or yellow-green depending on the filter. The ND8, ND16, ND128 and ND256 have a minor red color shift, whereas the ND32 and ND64 have a slight green/yellow color shift. However, I want to emphasize that this is a very minor color shift, and pretty much all ND filters on the market suffer from this issue to some degree, and it's very easy to fix in post-production, especially if you shoot in 10-bit and D-Log-M. As for the CPL filter, which removes reflections from water, glass, etc., the sharpness is almost the same, but the yellow-green color shift is a bit more noticeable. Moving on to the ND-PL filters, which combine an ND and a CPL filter in one. These filters exhibit a much stronger color shift towards yellow-green compared to the regular ND filters. This is especially noticeable with the ND8PL and ND32PL filters. As for the quarter mist filter, this filter adds bloom to the highlights and creates a dreamy soft effect, which can be useful when shooting at night to soften the highlights at night lights, or when you want to slightly soften the skin. Finally, the LPR filter can be very useful when shooting at night. This filter basically reduces light pollution from artificial lights, which is most visible with yellow lights. I would highly recommend it if you're doing a lot of night city/architecture shots. Overall, the performance of these filters is fantastic. I would highly recommend these for your pocket trim if you want to add natural motion blur when shooting in daylight with ND filters, reduce reflections with CPL filters, create a dreamy soft look with the quarter mist filter, or reduce light pollution when shooting at night with the LPR filter. Of course, these filters are not perfect. They can be a bit hard to mount and unmount, and there is a slight color shift when using them, but overall I think they are fantastic. I'm going to leave a link for these filters down below. It's going to be an affiliated link, which doesn't cost anything extra to you, but I get a small kickback from it, which helps me make better quality videos on this channel. Thank you for the support.